Amir was 7 years old. He was a poor boy, unhappy. During his birth, due to the position of the fetus or the doctor's lack of experience, or perhaps their negligence, made a mistake. As a result, the child was born handicapped, although he had healthy and strong legs. He couldn't walk because it caused him unbearable pain. The parents were very upset with their son. This only gave them problems and complications. On trips, they would have given their son to some boarding school a long time ago, but the family had no money since only the father was the one who worked. He had not studied enough. They only offered him physical and very hard work, paying him very little for it. Since the parents received help to support their disabled child, there was no choice but to put up with the little disabled boy at home. In the end, the boy's father got a good job as an office driver and soon left the family. A rich mistress wanted him, and Amelia was left alone with her son. She imagines that because of her son's illness, she couldn't get a good job, assuming that the child needed constant care and she didn't have a decent education. If it weren't for the aid and the meal coupons, she would have abandoned that child whom she didn't love and who bothered her for a long time, who was always hungry, and what a fate it was for her to walk down the street with him, sitting in a wheelchair, old and half broken. That day, Amelia also started walking in front of the boy and, by the way, wanted to send a text message to her friend. The boy was turning the chair's wheels, following in her footsteps. Suddenly, a sound was heard. The woman circled the boy. Now he was squirming in the grass, trying to get out of the situation as he had fallen out of his wheelchair and reached out to his mother. The woman thought angrily and continued walking alone. She decided that she would change her life completely. In that life, there would be no place for a disabled person. The boy scrambled, trying to get out of the chair. He was crying, calling his mother. In that cruel and sad scene, there was a man driving down the road in a luxury car. The man was shocked. The boy was struggling on the lawn, trying to get out of the wheelchair, and there was no one around. The man got out of the car and tried to calm the boy down. The boy kept crying and calling for his mother. The situation seemed unbelievable. The mother has just left her handicapped son on the sidewalk? The man put the boy in the chair and put the wheelchair in the trunk so as not to scare the child. He said the following, "Don't worry, little friend. Let's look for your mother. Maybe she got lost somewhere." The boy stopped crying and the car started. When they arrived at a large and beautiful house, the little boy looked up with interest. "What do you think about moving in with me while we look for your mother? I have a big house that you're going to love, okay? My name is David." He took the boy out of the car in his arms and carried him into a large, bright room where he left him on the sofa. A friendly chef appeared and told the boy that she was going to give him some delicious pancakes. The days passed, one after the other. Many weeks passed. The man bought the boy a children's wheelchair and taught him how to use it. It was electric, and the boy only had to learn to push a few buttons. The little one quickly learned to use it. He came to love David as if he were his real father. A few months later, the man came home very happy and showed the boy a kind of folder with many pages inside. "Do you know what I have here, Amir?" "No, I don't know." "Well then, know that from now on you are my son and you can live with me forever." The two were very content and happy and gave each other a big hug. But David didn't stop there. One day, he took his son with him and stopped in front of a building where there was a big red cross. A doctor in a white coat came out of the door and the boy got scared, but the doctor just examined his legs. Soon he examined him with a curious medical device similar to a spaceship from the future. So his father spent a long time talking to that doctor, and when they got home, he put his son in front of him and started talking seriously. "Listen, son, you can walk." "Really, Daddy?" "Yes, but you will have to undergo an operation, and know that learning to walk is not easy and can even be very painful, but you will be able to walk if you make an effort on your part." "Yes, Father, I will put up with it all. All I want is to be like other kids." "And that's how it's going to be. It's all up to you." Undergoing surgery for more than a year, very slowly but persistently, Amir learned to walk. At first, he simply clung to the doctor, who repeated each step with the crosshairs. Then things started to look up. The boy struggled despite the pain, and that perseverance paid off. The following year, the boy, despite limping, managed to go to school without anyone's help. His life changed for the better. He kept taking in new things with great joy and tried to study as best he could to please his father. Many years later, Amir became a young man. He graduated from medical school with honors. Now he was working as a doctor in a large clinic and had a good income. The only problem was his father. He died a year ago. It was no surprise, as by the time he found the boy, he was already 65 years old. He got out of the car and sat sadly on a bench in the same park where his father had helped him change his life. That same day, he started reviewing the photos on his phone where they appeared together years ago. "Dear young man, wouldn't you have $1 for me to have a cup of coffee and a bagel?" It was a voice that suddenly sounded close to Amir, and it lifted his head. In front of him was his mother. The years passed, and she aged a lot. Her hair looked dirty, her clothes were torn, but he recognized her. Looking into the depths of the young man's eyes, obviously educated and wealthy, she was also intrigued. Something distant and touching shook her soul, and the woman's eyes filled with tears. "It's me, Amir. Do you recognize me?" "You are my son? Yes, of course." Suddenly, she wanted to leave. But her son took her hand. "No, Mom, I will not let you go. Come with me to that beautiful house that my real father left me one day. He helped me, and now I will help you in memory of him. After all, you're the one who once gave me birth." The well-dressed man embraced that woman, and together they walked down that road. Passers-by looked at the couple in surprise. Happiness could be seen across their friendly faces.